Great day, great day, great day, great day. Family of one. It's one source in the universe, or one source as the universe. All source is one. Um, Today is Thursday, the 22nd of January, 2026. I am a voice of consciousness, Avok, aka Revelation, aka King James, KYNGJAYMES, as well as who I am is divine. What I am is divinity in motion. So this is another episode. This will be the third episode of addressing, redressing, and undressing the elephant in the room. So we've been doing this series, and we'll do a live Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tune in if you will. Again, these broadcasts are definitely myself expressing the experiences that I've had the pleasure of being able to consciously be made aware of through my efforts through meditation, some forms of yoga, Pilates, Qigong, just various aspects of breath work, some breath work, various aspects of bringing what's inside to the forefront of my mind, because it's all about memory. My book, Get Your It Together, Spiritual Insight for the Conscious, was written as a result of having had at least 5 years of blog talk radio programs with various guests. And you can actually go on my website, jhwentinc.com, and you can review or see the various guests that I had on my show in the previous years from 2012 to 2017. And so I've been doing various things, but always on the path to seeking self. And so a lot of what I'm doing and a lot of why I do it is because, number one, this is what liberates you. If you're afraid to go into the dark recesses of your being, not researching someone else, researching somebody else's ideas, researching somebody else's concerns, feelings, what have you. If you are not afraid to venture into those dark spaces within yourself, because think about it, everything starts in the dark. Everything that blossoms and blooms and expands starts in the dark. Starts in the dark. And actually, it will have to go back to the dark. That's a part of the process. That's a part of the cycle, if you will. You're saying the universe gives you, and the universe will do this. And so you're speaking about something outside of you. And there's nothing outside of you that's more valuable than what's inside of you. You come here equipped with everything you'll ever need for any experience that you'll ever have in whatever lifetime you're ever going to live in. And until you remember that, until you remember, It's about your memory. Everything is based on memory. Everything is either pulling you back or propelling you forward as a result of you aligning yourself with what you know based on what you remember. See, it's not about feeling or thinking or wishing and hoping or having faith. It's about knowing. If you don't know and you believe, understand you don't know because you believe. And you believe because you don't know. So the whole premise for this walk, at least as far as I'm concerned, for me, based on my experiences, based on what I've experienced, based on how I connect with the consciousness of my experiences in the moment. If you're afraid to go into the dark recesses of yourself, because we have darkness, we have light, we are all things at the same time. Just like everything is happening in the world at the same time. There's not a separation of this over here and that over there and we're doing this over. No, it's happening all at once. You may not be privy to or exposed to it or in the midst of it in that moment, but know that it is all happening now. There is no tomorrow. There is no yesterday. However, the experiences of whatever you are doing right now is either recalling something that no longer exists, or you're projecting your imagination into something that don't exist. You are remembering yourself through these experiences. For instance, everything that you come in contact with, every person, place, thing that you experience during your daily walk, your daily being, is a reflection of what's in you already. And it's showing up to give you the opportunity to either move beyond it or to utilize aspects of that experience to expand you further into your consciousness, which will allow you to be more present because you are here now. Everything is divine. I get it. This is they killing over there and they doing this over there. All of those things have nothing to do with what you are experiencing. If you are so busy focusing on the experiences of others and what others are doing based on their opinion, their feelings, their thoughts, their whatever, however they determine, whatever they've determined, their ideas around, if all your focus is on them, or something outside of you, I should say, then you are not aligning yourself with whatever your truth is. Because you have a truth. Everyone is a truth. Everyone is divine, and the divinity is present in all as the true source that emanates from source. We all are divine. There is the dualistic patterns that we've allowed ourselves to latch on to because of the melanin, because of the adhesive value that the melanin sticks and it will lock in. And then when you lock in your emotions and your conscious awareness about the experience and you remember, all those things can lock you down until you go and liberate yourself from what is holding you captive. And it's not about a person or a white man, this or none of that. It's more about what you refuse to let go of. That's why discipline is important. Meaning what? You have to abstain from things that take you off your center. So discipline is very important. The cigarettes, eating, sex, whatever. There is a need and there is a necessity to discipline yourself so that you will cut down the chatter, relinquish the hold based on your level of determination, willful intention to want to be centered, whole, and balanced. That's where we are. We're not even, a lot of us aren't even aware of the time that we're in. The time that we're in is critical and it's crucially important to whatever you want to call salvation. You're not going to get it putting all your beliefs, all your hopes, all your dreams and wishes in something outside of you. First of all, every dream is a reality depending on how far you want to take it. And every reality is actually a dream, because what is a dream? An idea that shows itself. And you either willfully pursue it or you intentionally allow it to be. See, there's a lot of aspects of what we've been completely out of tune and out of touch with that has taken us. So that brings us back to the elephant in the room, because everything and everyone is quick to look at your history. They're quick to say what you used to do and how you used to be, and you can't really be doing this or that because this is what you used to do. But we ain't really been talking about the DNA, the offspring from Neanderthals, the offspring of barbarians. We don't really deal with that. See, because they've allowed, or many have allowed us to think, or many have allowed many to think that they're civilized. This is a civilized culture. This is a civilized society. America is civilized. Yet, a lot of the actions that we see with our government and with factions, you name it, are uncivilized actions. The experiences that they wield on people or do to people, bullying tactics, these are things of insecure, childish, manipulating type mindsets. And so the elephant in the room is a part of the psychosis of a society that is sick. If you don't think that eating babies, or if you don't think that killing for sport, if you don't think, I mean, again, it's a gazillion things that I can name, and that's really not the issue. The issue is, what are you going to do? And how are you going to do it? We have to start with thinking. I read this book. I've read books, plenty of books, but every book I read don't affect me like this book. Chica Anta Diop, Civilization or Barbarism. That book changed my whole perspective. It it allowed me to start to, I memory started to flood my being as a result of reading it. I was speechless because I was given the book or told to get the book to read it for a um, course in college way back in the day. And reading that book turned on a lot of switches that were kind of like dim. The light was there, but certain things just illuminated it all. And stuff just started coming. It's like, wow, we shouldn't be treating people like they're second class citizens. Women shouldn't be um, subservient. We're talking energy, frequency, and vibration. We're not talking about an idea that someone says should or shouldn't be, or laws that are made to govern people, control minds, and manipulate hearts. That's not what we're talking about. Energy, frequency, and vibration, again, I'll say it again and I'll be saying it forever and a day. There is no hierarchy. If you gotta be subservient, if you have to wield power, so you think, over others, then that means you're weak. Because the whole premise for your being is you're infinite. You're eternally infinite, meaning you have the authority over you to do as you see fit. And guess what? When you align yourself, what you see fit is harmony and balance. You're not looking to beat somebody over the head and take this, because stuff don't matter. Having stuff is nice. Don't get me wrong. On this plane, you want to enjoy the life and you have stuff. That's fine. But the minute you start valuing that stuff over anything, because all outside of you, remember, anything outside of you doesn't have the value or can't hold the value. You can put value on it, but it doesn't hold or stand up to you, to what you are already. Naked, no clothes on, just bare bones, divine essence that's in motion. There's nothing to compare. There's nothing that can compare. However, we've established, or we've allowed ourselves to establish ourselves within a system that has a hierarchy and classism and racism and all kind of isms. And that dynamic has to have people below them so they can stand on them or step on them. They have to have underlings. They can't function with people or beings being on equal footing, equality. These are terms. They're not realities. When we start talking about the real truth of the descendants of barbarians, there is no, you're not going to get equity, fairness. You have to manipulate the system and play the game in such a way to find your way in it. But to play it the way they set it out, you're set to fail. You are the presence of the divine essence of source as you already. If you plan the game, And many of us do, all of us do, because this is the plane. The third dimension is the plane for playing, for enjoyment, like the child's at play, like children at play. This is where we are here. This is where we are here. This is what it's all about. Enjoy it, experience it, but not become attached to it. Having the nice things is great, but it's still stuff. They put a value on it, you put a value on it, that's fine. But your ego and your emotions get caught up in the stuff instead of the stuff that makes you what you are. You get caught up in the stuff that you've been told that you are based on these things. Well, I have a degree, or I have money, or look at my house. All these things don't add value to you. In a sick society, they do. In a society where stuff, what you can see, touch, feel, smell, taste, hear, those things are fool's gold. And that's for the uninitiated, those that are not in the position to move beyond this place, this space and time, this um, illusory playground. It's kind of like you build a playground to have fun, but you know, if you're going to build some buildings, you got to tear the playground down. So it's not going to be here forever. You're not going to be able to do it forever. Well, you will be. However, you want to be aware and awake while you're doing it. That's the key, to kind of be, not kind of, but be aware and awake. Play it, enjoy it, have the experiences with it. But when it's time to move on, you can drop. And listen, I can drop the sandbox, get out that sandbox, and keep on moving. We are now crossing the bridge into the self awareness through conscious experiences in the now. Not tomorrow, not yesterday, but the now. And when we don't call it for what it is and see it for what it is and deal with it on the space and the basis of what you know it is, not what you believe it is, what you thought it used to be, or what you thought it was. You know, it's amazing how we look back, or how we've been trained and conditioned to look back on other people's history, and they check your rap sheet. Hey, you used to do this, so you're probably still doing that, or you was into that, so you're probably still into that. Well, guess what? It's in your DNA that you're descendants from Neanderthals. You know, a couple of clicks away from animal behavior. That's why you love it. You know, it's a lot of things that we just not even dealing with. But yet we're going along in a society that has generated the laws by which we must, the laws that we must obey. Since when? Okay, so you made the laws for me, or you made the laws for a certain few, but then depending on who you are and what you have and what you can do and who you know and all those kind of classism things, then it doesn't really, you know, that the laws ain't for you. Well, see, divinity says differently, because in the same moment that there's an issue for you, there's an opportunity for me. And when you're clear on who and what you are, you begin to see. You begin to see through the maze and the haze. You begin to see through the smoke screen. You begin to see not with the physical eyes, because they can go out on you. But there's a single eye that illuminates that much further when you start to digress from. See, we have to go 180 degrees from this illness, sickness, psychosis that we've been indoctrinated. Everybody's hurting. Everybody's feeling bad to some extent. Everybody's not. We all have PTSD, post-traumatic, post-traumatic PTS syndrome disorder. Everybody, to some degree. Some of us are able to manage it better. I had some friends that was hitting that pipe hard, but they come to work every day just so they can get that check and they hit that pipe again on the weekend, be broke come Monday morning. I know some people's alcoholics. Shoot, kept a job, go to work every day. So everybody manages this thing differently. And everybody is self-medicating on some level. And everybody is dealing with varying issues that until you go into the darkness and come to terms with those things, but see, you have to want something better. You have to want to be liberated. See, some sell you freedom. Divinity, already you're liberated from this. However, the only problem is you don't know it. Well, you don't remember it. You know it, you don't remember it. That's the whole thing. You don't remember. When you don't remember, then you're subject to believe anything. Believe this, believe that. Because you don't remember, you would move differently. You will move differently throughout this realm of existence when you know who you are. Who I am is divine. What I am is divinity in motion. This is every day, all day long. This is not every now and then. And it's not to say that I don't have my challenges, but then what happens is they're no longer challenges. What they are is opportunities for me to see myself differently, for me to expand within myself most reassuredly, because it's about having the confidence to know. It's about not being afraid to move beyond what you've been told. It's about it, because fear is a big factor in keeping you in lockstep with your imbalance. Fear is a big, 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 big part of keeping you in lockstep with your imbalance. You're still divine. You're just out of balance. We all are to some extent. Well, guess what? The cavalry's coming, and it's going to be on you. It's going to be on you to come to terms with what's going on in you. All right? So, hey, this is, once again, a voice of consciousness. What I am is divine. Who I am is divine. What I am is divinity in motion. Once again, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get your it together 2.1. Love you. Love you all as I love myself. And it radiates out. Peace.